everyone, it's Lucy from My Crazy Craft Life, and I'm here today with a design team post for Scrapping for Less. I am using this adorable set by Pink and Main. It's called Sweet Carousel. It has these beautiful images with a lot of detail of the carousel horses, and then a couple cute sentiments. You make my world go round, and let's celebrate you. And then there's some little ones that are kind of banners and bows that can go along with it. I end up using two of the images on here. I start out by using my stamp platform and stamping them with Hero Arts Intense Black ink, and I stamped quite a few images of them. And then I do some Copic coloring. I don't leave all of the coloring in here, I just kind of put a little bit in there, kind of towards the end. One of the things I did do was I ended up changing the blue. This first blue that I used I thought was a little dark, so then when I colored the second image I changed it up a little bit and used a different one, and I'll show you that in a minute after I decide to do that. I do end up cutting these out with my scan and cut machine, and at first I was only going to use this one image, so I cut that one out first, and then I decided I wanted to use two images. And the first image you'll see in a second when I start coloring it, or I guess the second image that I started coloring, my pen leaked on it and left a big old blob right in the middle of the image, so I couldn't use that one, so I ended up using the other one. I'm sorry if I'm sounding kind of nasally here, but the weather here has just been absolutely crazy. I live in the Midwest near Chicago, and one day we're 45 degrees today and rainy, and the next day we are -2 degrees, and sickness has just been going rampant around everywhere. So I'm just getting over being sick. Luckily I was able to get well enough to get this post done and get down into my craft room, because I haven't been down there for the last week because I pretty much have gone to work and gone to bed. So I am on the mend. I do feel a lot better, but it's still kind of in my head there. So when I started out and I saw this image, I thought I wanted to keep them soft and kind of use pastel colors because I just saw clouds. I don't know why I saw clouds with a carousel, but that's what I saw. So I used a stencil and some Distress Oxides, and the colors I used was Worn Lipstick, Broken China, Peacock Feathers, and Seedless Preserves to do the background for this card. And I just used the cloud stencil to go down and make the background. And like I said, I just saw really soft colors with this stamp set. So after I finished up doing the background, I decided that I wanted to make a world, because I was going to use the sentiment, you make my world go round. And I didn't have anything that kind of had a world on it, and so I pulled out my phone and I looked at some images of a map, I guess, of the world, or a pit photo of the world, and I just kind of sketched in real basic. I am by far from an artist, but I just, like I said, real basic, and I just wanted to kind of have the idea of what the world is. And then I pulled a couple Distress Oxides out, and if you look on there where those dark marks are from the Distress Oxides, that's actually where I use the eraser. So that's what happens, I guess, when you use the eraser on there. But I used Salty Ocean, and then I just took some water and a water brush, or with a water brush, with some Lucky Clover, and used that for kind of the land in the picture. So you can see it's by far beautiful or perfect, but it kind of gives the idea, and that's exactly what I was looking for. So then I took a stitch circle die and just kind of cut out that world. You can see there I ended up making some masks of the stamps, because I was going to, or I am going to, make a different card with it with using masked images, but for this one I'm not using that. And then I did end up cutting the canopy off of the one horse the first one that I colored, and I just used the little heart that is in the stamp set and kind of put it on top of the poles to kind of finish that off so that it looked similar to the other one. I used some fun foam and I put on the back of that world because it kind of warped a little bit with the water and drying it off. And then I do end up heat embossing the sentiment. I used my VersaFine black onyx ink and I stamped it onto the world, and I forgot to use my tool so that the stuff doesn't stick to it except for where it's supposed to stick, but it was okay. And it was just clear embossing powder, so it wasn't bad. And then I just popped that onto the bottom of the card base. Now I did end up cutting out the card base with a stitch wonky die to make it the 4 inches by 5 1/4 so that I'll have some type of border. And then I was just trying to figure out which card base I wanted to use, and I thought the green kind of helped with the green that was in the world to give it a little accent color there. And then I just popped those 2 carousel horses on there. Now you see that bag of sequins that I have? All those, well, the majority of them, I shouldn't say all, but almost all of those bags that are in there are from my Scrapping for Less card kits that I've been getting. So that's what I have left. So it's kind of nice that I get to always go back and have some sequins, and usually I end up finding the exact color that I need somewhere in there. These are some kind of iridescent sequins that are really, really pretty, and I went a little crazy with them. But, you know, it is a carousel, so I wanted it to be kind of fancy. And then I went in with my Spectrum Noir Sparkle pen just to give the hair on the carousel horses a little bit of sparkle as well. And then that is the card. So I hope everyone enjoyed it. I had a fun time making this. It was really a great stamp set, and like I said, the detail in these horses is great. So I hope everybody enjoyed this, and take care.